Welcome back to House of the Dragon. The Lannisters. What are they up to? Why does the Lannister armor look so much better here than it did in Game of Thrones? Well, I mean, I know why. They've had time to refine it and make it look better, but it looks really good here.
7 times as many archers and men-at-arms.
And actual lions.
The Riverland scum, they're most eager to embrace the hospitality of your keep.
Still as pompous as ever.
Your irritations are justified, Aemon, but it does seem...
I have a task for you, as well.
I guess he really doesn't want anything to do with you, Alicent.
We will make an alliance with the Triarchy.
Yeah, that's something that Otto did in the book.
An offer of marriage, perhaps, to the Dowager Queen.
Out of the question.
Not happening, thank you. It's interesting that he doesn't sit in the chair. He just kind of like paces around the room.
I'll fly out to meet you when the time is ripe. My uncle is a challenge I welcome.
But you're not going now. I don't think Aemon listened to a word anyone said to him in there.
And its arrogance. Neither of which is to be
I
desired in a
release
king.
you of your seat.
Well, shit. He said no more power for you, even in the slightest.
Have the indignities of your childhood not yet sufficiently been avenged?
I guess he feels they haven't. I really like those chairs.
Sir Stephen Darklin, your grace.
Oh no.
Then who could do it?
You.
Just straight to it.
The dragons are gods. Your Grace.
They're not gods, but they are dangerous.
That is my oath, Your Grace.
Kind of risky to do it with one of your Kingsguard.
Perhaps the gods will favor us.
Yeah, maybe. Oh, they brought Patty back. Very nice.
By order of your king.
This moment really, really haunts Daemon. The day he lost it all. He would have lost it anyways, though. As soon as he had a son, he would have, again, been the rightful heir.
Open the door!
Can't run away from it this time.
Perhaps the culprit has been tampering with my peace. A friend by day and a foe by night.
Yeah, you're losing it, Daemon.
What end? To mine, perhaps. Are an agent of the High Tower rabble.
You're making me sweat, man. Calm down.
And stop watching me.
Okay. Damon's like, I'm getting the fuck out of here, man. I'm tired of these weird-ass dreams.
When something does not please you, you run.
Well, yes.
Stepstones, Pentos, Harrenhal, or perhaps those who strive for it are the least suited to wear it.
Don't lecture me!
She's making a good point, though.
If you have any counsel for dealing with the River Lords, I'd be glad of it.
There you go. Get yourself some humility. It'll do you good.
Daemon Targaryen asking for help?
Counsel.
Counsel is help, Daemon.
In 3 days' time, the winds will shift.
Maybe still go for a ride on Caraxes. You know, clear your head just a little bit. Get out of the castle for just a couple hours. So is this a common thing, then? For them to, like, sing a lullaby to the dragons in order to kind of coax them in? Sir Darklin, you should probably just change your mind. Just don't give it a try. Unless they plan on making a very large change here, I think this is going to go south pretty badly.
I've done it.
Yeah. Sir Darklin was not meant to be a dragon seed, unfortunately.
You are a fine choice for this post.
Is this an order or a request?
I will expect you to report for your duties on the morrow.
So I guess it's an order.
My lordship.
I mean, to be fair, I think he's more worried about how the Velaryon family is just dying off one by one. Doesn't want him or his brother to join them.
While we go without.
That can't be true.
My girls were taken to the Red Keep a few nights ago.
And him always acting so correct.
I see their play. Okay.
They were well paid, and his rightful heir denied her seat.
Say it loud and say it proud. Get those people pissed off.
I myself, if you recall, was in favor of...
Yeah, I heard you when you first
more conventional
had issues with it, man.
But we may yet retake...
Oh. Damn.
It is my fault, I think, that you have forgotten to fear me.
There we go. I want to see more of that, Rhaenyra. Don't take no shit. You're a queen.
But it is harder to wage war abroad when you must also keep peace at home.
True. It's not a bad plan.
This becomes you.
It does, but you don't know a thing about using it. Unless they make that a change on the show, they're like, oh yeah, she's gonna learn how to fight. It would be interesting.
With shrewdness and subtlety.
The small council's getting awfully small.
I'll make it your responsibility.
Really?
My prince, it is an honor I've never considered for myself.
Not to serve as hand. Send word to Otto Hightower.
This morning his breath comes easier. He may yet live.
Not happy news.
Yeah, you seem overjoyed.
What do you remember?
I mean, given his reaction just then, it seems like he remembers pretty well what you did.
Nothing.
That's so cruel.
See that he is made to rest comfortably.
In other words, give him as much milk of the poppy as you can so that he doesn't blab to anyone.
There is nothing.
But oh, look at the little dragon. But yeah, could all those burnt sheep
I bring good news, Rhaena.
be a specific dragon who seems to really like sheep?
He'll be most pleased.
I'll send 6 good men to protect you on the crossing.
Yes, mother.
And yet, you still...
Ah, so he has the white hair of a Valarian.
Got the wrong idea.
While me, he ignores. As he always has.
Oh.
The household is abuzz with it.
Everyone's like, that was badass.
He's lucky I did not have his tongue.
We need Daemon and his dragon.
May I be free for even 1 hour of the constant refrain of Daemon, Daemon, Daemon.
Your Grace.
I mean, you do need Daemon.
What gift?
Oh, nothing you need to trouble yourself with.
Over the Blackwater tonight.
Ah, they're gonna give food to the needy. Make themselves look like they are the saviors of the common people. That's smart. Although that can't be enough to feed all that many. Oh, okay. Not a bad ploy, Rhaenyra and Mazzaria. Well done.
I'm sorry.
Really should have said something like that to your son a long time ago, Alicent. Maybe you could have prevented him from becoming such a horrible person.
Otto Hightower is ever resourceful. He will send news when there is news to send.
It is rather curious that they haven't heard anything from him.
Was it the court? Was it their mother?
I have to agree with you, Alicent.
You did your best.
No! I mean, if that was her best, it's pretty piss poor. I'm sorry. She did a pretty terrible job.
Joins Kristen.
Wonder when we're actually going to get to see Darren. Because he does have a part to play in all this.
I thought we might light a candle.
Just leave her be with her crickets, man. Like, just let her do whatever the hell she wants. Yeah, this is gonna cause quite a stir.
Oh, give it to me! There's the Queen of Fishes!
Don't do anything to Helena. She didn't do anything.
No!
Oh. Yeah, too late for that.
Sheath on swords!
There's not much you can do when there's, you know, hundreds of them against you. Ugh. Well, that was a little bit tense. Looks like you got cut right on the same spot that you sliced Rhaenyra. I wonder if that's some sort of, like, weird poetic justice, but at the same time, it's not really justice. What are you playing at here, Laris?
A drink. They will stare at you.
I did not expect a heart-to-heart between these two.
And they will underestimate you.
Ooh, Laris is playing a strong hand right there. He'll own you, Aegon.
I'm here now.
Aww.
Lord Grover is dead.
So it's finally time to start making moves.
Our own healer, Alice Rivers, volunteered her renowned skills. There was not more to be done.
Wait, so she killed him? Never seen Daemon like this before. This is wild. Oh dear. He's just playing with you. He's like, come on, be my friend. Stop running from me, be my friend. Oof. It's a dragon. How stealthy can it be? That's right, Adam.
How will I rule a kingdom when my own son doubts me?
You have me.
Oh, that's sweet.
You have my thanks.
It was my father,
Oh.
who was still a child, had his pleasure with me.
Oh.
And when after many months of this, it became evident that his seed had taken root.
Oh my god.
There is a scar here as well. Cannot bear children. Swore to myself I would never trust another, and that oath has stood me well.
I didn't expect that story to be that horrible. Oh, that's so sweet. I didn't expect this friendship to be like a focal point of the season. Oh? Really? I wasn't expecting that either. Get it? Get it, girl? What? This is dangerous, but I'm here for it.
Begging your pardon. He has a rider.
Who?
Excuse me.
Impossible to tell from the ground.
No. She's gonna take this one herself. Oh, that's a really cool shot. Interesting. Ooh, okay. Nice little cliffhanger ending for everyone. I really like that one, actually. I think that was a very solid episode. Another very slow-paced episode where there's not any, like, crazy major events that happen, but there are several fairly big moments that I really, really enjoyed here. Daemon's storyline over at Harrenhal is potentially getting a little bit stale for me, just because it has been going on for quite a long time now. We've had 3 or 4 episodes straight of him having these visions and struggling to like make a major change in his character. But it seems like in this one he did make a bit of a breakthrough here. You know, right before he's told the good news that Grover Tully has finally passed away and he can now start making some actual moves in gaining troops with the Riverlands. He, in his vision, finally does something different, you know, a little out of character for Daemon, and he comforts his brother after the death of his wife. In that scene with Alice Rivers where they're talking to each other in front of the weirwood was probably one of my favorites between the two of them. Again, I just love Alice Rivers as a character. She's freaking awesome. And seeing him finally admit that he needs help in order to do this was rather interesting. And it seems heavily implied that Alice actually killed Grover Tully in order to make this happen. Which on one hand sounds, you know, awful and terrible, but on the other hand, if the man really was like on his deathbed and barely able to speak or do anything, in some ways it's kind of a mercy. Sir Darklyn attempting to mount Sea Smoke went exactly as it did in the book. It was definitely one of those moments where I was sitting there going, come on man, just forget about just turn around, this is not going to go well for you. And it was rather frustrating watching Lord Bartimus I don't know, try to give her shit for it afterwards. Like, I told you that wasn't going to go well. Like, shut up, man. Sir Darklyn agreed to it. It was his choice. It didn't go well, but shut your mouth. Like, learn your place. You are not an equal to Rhaenyra. You are part of her council. Like, you really need to step the fuck back, dude. I really appreciated her slapping him in the face. Rhaenyra and Mazaria's plan to, like, convert the people of King's Landing was very smart, I think. As Rhaenyra and Mazaria agree on, like, no, this isn't going to, you know, turn the tides in our favor per se, but it's certainly going to make things a whole lot more difficult for the Greens. It's going to buy us time, basically, in order to find these dragon seeds. And goddamn, I did not expect a relationship to form between Mazaria and Rhaenyra. I definitely was feeling the growing friendship there. I just wasn't expecting it to turn the way it did. And as I said, I'm here for it. You two could use someone in your lives who treats you well and views you as an equal, so I'm happy for them. But again, their plan to convert the people of King's Landing led to a very intense scene with Alicent and Helena. Alicent is certainly not an innocent bystander in the whole situation. She's definitely had a hand to play in everything that's occurred. Don't necessarily want to see her get ripped apart by an angry mob or anything, but Helena in particular I felt very bad for in that situation, because I'm like, she didn't do anything, she just wants to play with her crickets. Leave her alone. And I found it rather interesting that they chose to give her a cut on her forearm exactly in the same spot that she, you know, sliced open Rhaenyra. I feel like that has to remind her of the decisions that she's made that have led to this exact moment. Aemond is showing himself to be a capable leader, but at the same time, not a good one. He refutes pretty much anything that his council members say to placate him or talk him down from something. It's his way or the highway. I mean, quite literally. He gets rid of Alicent and Kristen Cole. His small council is, you know, shrinking by the day. And I did like that little moment where Alicent, you know, tries to break through to him, and it seems like it might work for a second, saying, you know, have you not avenged the indignities that you suffered as a kid? Like, is this not enough for you? And clearly it's not. And I think Aemond is soon going to realize that nothing is ever going to, you know, placate that feeling for him. He's always going to feel inferior some way, somehow. And of course, the biggest reveal of the whole episode, we have our first dragon seed. I'm sure there have to have been people who are wondering, you know, what is the significance of this Adam character? Like, why are we wasting time on scenes for this guy that is just a bastard of Corlys? But now you have your answer. He's a dragon rider. He's pretty damn important to this whole situation for Rhaenyra. But now the big question lies in, is he going to side with Rhaenyra or the Greens? The pacing in this episode was very thoughtful and methodical. At times, perhaps a bit too slow for my taste, but for the most part, I really enjoyed how much time they're taking with the story, specifically with the small folk, and showing that they do have a part to play in, you know, the rise and fall of kings and queens. And some of those storylines are already paying off now that we've seen Adam be claimed by Seasmoke as a dragon rider. I also think the cinematography in this episode was a lot better than it was in the last episode. I shouldn't say a lot better. I mean, it's never bad in this show. But there were several shots here that I thought were very artistically done, were very pretty. Two in particular that really stood out to me. There was one of Alicent standing outside the small council room after she had just been let go of her position. Gorgeous composition there, looked really, really nice. And even though it was entirely a CGI shot, the moment where Rhaenyra and Syrax are just kind of like skydiving right across the cliff before they take off to meet with this new dragon rider. Very, very nice. Very nice. Production-wise, the entire episode was, as usual, movie quality, fantastic. We got to see some nice new costumes, some very, very convincing burn wounds on Aegon. And some of the acting in this episode was like incredible. I really was impressed by Matt Smith during several moments where he is really starting to break down and seemingly reaching a threshold in a sort of crossroads for his character. Rhaenyra's frustration and vulnerability is very well portrayed by Emma Darcy here. Olivia Cook's guilt and sadness over like what a terrible mother she's been was very well portrayed as well. I mean, I just continued to be impressed by the show. There's still not been a bad episode that I can point out. So I'm going to give this episode another 8.7 out of 10. I think it was very, very good. Maybe some slight dips in quality to the sound work or to the pacing of the episode, but overall I was thoroughly impressed with a lot of aspects of it, even though this wasn't a incredibly eventful type of episode. I'm curious to see how the meeting of Rhaenyra and this new dragon rider is going to turn out. Again, I'm assuming they're going to follow the book for the most part on that one, but there is the slight difference of Rhaenyra going out on her dragon to meet with him like this, so I'm very curious to see how that plays out. I don't exactly know how Rhaenyra and Mazaria's relationship is going to affect certain aspects of the story or her relationship with Daemon, so I'm also curious to see how that all goes. And they keep hinting at Rhaenyra wanting to learn how to use a sword and become a warrior, and again, that is not a thing in the book, so I want to know what they do with that as well, if they are going to do anything with that within this season or in future seasons of the show. Also, how many more dragon riders are we going to get in this season? There are still unclaimed dragons and other people out there who potentially have a claim to them. We also know there's a dragon out in the Vale who is unclaimed, and a person who really, really wants to be a dragon rider is all I'm saying, which would be a pretty sizable change to the story. I'm definitely pumped for that next episode. So I hope I see you all there, and that's about it.